Um, it's hard right now. You know, I would say right now, but it's hard to say. You know, we had a good day of practice, but you really can't tell how you respond until you play that next game because you know you're only as good as your last game. But you know, today was a good day of practice, good energy. So I would say as of now, it's nobody's hanging their head.
How do you get the passing game going this week?
We've got to protect. You know, that's when it comes to that. What we can control up front is just give them time.
What were those first 24 hours after the Penn State game like, Alex?
You know, it's anytime you lose, it's hard. You know, bruises feel a little bit worse, but again, you know, I've lost games before. It's tough. You come in and you come back to work.
How do you feel like the running game has been through, really through 2 games? It seems like the power running is working pretty well for you.
Yeah, you know, we had just a couple really breakout runs, but you know, if you look at the tape, you know, we're really not even getting perfect plays out of it, but we're getting most of our guys padded up, and we're getting big runs. So it's exciting to see. You know, once we really get everything where it needs to be, I think we've got a real shot to be explosive in the run game.
What was the video review like for you guys in the offensive line room Sunday and Monday?
You know, it was a little bit frustrating because you know anytime you lose a game, it's hard because you know we know we're all good players, and if you go out there and you just get beat by the guy in front of you, you know that you can take that. Okay, I got beat, but you know it was tough. You know, just personally me, I did some things, you know, out of character, just not a little bit away from my fundamentals, and I look at that, and I'm shocked by it. You know, I think you know I should be far enough along to where I'm not making those kinds of mistakes. And so anytime you lose a game and you're doing some fundamental things wrong, it's frustrating, but at the same time it's encouraging because you know we got good guys in the room. We just gotta do the right things. So you know it's a little bit of both there.
With those kind of mistakes, you think any of the guys, not necessarily just on the O-line, but you know you're one of the captains of this team. You think anybody came into that game overconfident or into this season kind of overconfident or anything like that?
I don't know. It's hard to say whether or not people are overconfident, just because I think that's something that's hard to tell. Because you want to be confident going into any game, and I would say we prepared. You know, just I can speak for my room. I thought we were prepared going into it. We understood the game plan. It was just one of those things where it's tough.
What were some of those uncharacteristic mistakes that you noticed from the game when you looked back at it, Alex?
And just, you know, turning back on a 3 technique when I'm not supposed to. You know, not to get too far into it, but it's just simple things that don't, you know, it's stuff that we didn't practice that you need to carry over into the game, and little things like that. You know, when they stack up, when you know. If I'm doing it wrong, then that means somebody else might be doing it wrong. It's just we have to be able to rely on our fundamentals. That's what it comes down to, and that's something that I know we can get better at, and we will get better at.
Is there questions about this week's game, Georgia Tech?
Is there more of a sense of urgency going into the Georgia Tech game because you're coming off a loss and you're going into a big conference game now?
You know, I thought sense of urgency was high last week. I think it's been high since we started the season. I think we got a pretty mature group. It's just, you know, going into the game and actually, you know, once everything starts flying, it's being able to rely back on the fundamentals. And I think that's something that we can grow at and definitely get better at. But, you know, when it comes to preparation, I don't have any question marks for that. You know, I thought preparation was there. It's just we got to execute when it matters.
What jumps off to you about Georgia Tech's front? I mean, you played them before, but it's a different look this year than they've had in the past.
Yeah, you know, it's an opportunity to block odd, which you don't get a lot of those opportunities, and I look at it as, you know, it's fun to get a different kind of front, different kind of blocking scheme, and it should be a good challenge.
How do you feel health-wise? You feel ready to go this week against Georgia Tech?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel healthy.